Hello YouTube, Jonathan 800 here, who you might be able to tell is a bit sick. So, I'm gonna showcase air and what I would do usually. So, I have made designs that I would use. To be fair, I haven't really tested the strap bombers because I never really made them. Might do a US game where I completely meme on Germany. But, so basically what you're mainly looking at using is fighters, CAS, and maybe some naval bombers. So, this is usually the plane I used. It was max machine guns, armor plates, self-sealing fuel tanks. Expensive on rubber somewhat, but this was pretty good. This is also pretty good too. Pretty much same thing, but you replace one of the armor plates with drop tanks. The reason this is good is this is the defense and range. This is max. That's heavy attack. Where is my, there it is. The range is quite noticeable when you are comparing them. This is very useful because, let's say that the enemy is fighting in Belarus. Your nearest airport is somewhere. Where is F3? There it is. If you can only cover this much of it, you're gonna get a penalty. But if you can cover all of it, you're gonna do a whole lot better. And if the enemy can't cover all of it, you just got air superiority. So it is pretty much a toss-up between, where is it? Defense and range and max defense. Because we're fighting in neutral Benelux region, we won't have to deal with local anti-air or nation effects or whatever. So kind of unrealistic in that standpoint. But it kind of showcases to planes at their base standard. And if so, we can always try to fight in Western Germany or Northern France. And by, where's the... if we fought the defense and range from where it's at, we're gonna get pretty decent Northern France. While if we just did like the regular fighters, or my heavy fighters, which is this design, this would be more meta. Well, this actually would have been the most meta, a meta fighter, but it actually does less air attack, so that's kind of funny. Currently I have France. They have two sets of planes, the drop tanks one and the max defense one. So we will test them out shortly, but I'm going to talk about the other designs quickly. This is kind of the naval bomber I use, especially as the United States. This thing can often spot, what is it? Subs and stuff, and I obliterate the Japanese Navy with it. Quite enjoyable. This is, I haven't really used it myself, but for this design, I haven't used it myself, but I know it will probably be extremely good. So, you have your max amount of torpedo mountings you can use. Let's actually put on Naval Strike. And you got extra fuel tanks for extra range, so you can blow up everything in the Pacific. Flying boats, so you can spot more subs. Defense turrets, because why not? And radio navigation for night penalty reduction. So you can blow up subs in the night, too. And on the topic of bombers and such, attack bomber, you would replace these with medium bomb bays, so it can only fit 2 of them. This is my strap bomber design. This thing is very expensive, but it should have enough defense to where it isn't that bad. The range isn't the greatest, and this thing should level everything. Could it possibly be better? Maybe. not completely sure, but this thing is a chonky boy. Like, it can just barely take off. I would suggest a fighter escort with it. And planes to do fire escorts, besides these, is heavy fighters. This is my second design. I think I've actually might have overridden the first design. Yeah. My first design included a lot of cannons. And when I tested that out, it performed poorly. This also performs quite poorly, so its only benefit is the range. That's about it. So, here's back to naval bombers. This is my cheap naval bomber design. Not much range to it. Well, it somewhat has some range, but I always prefer the medium ones. Quite nice. Might try out the large ones later. So, close air support. Very important in this game. CAS is king. This is the CAS design I use. Lots of bomb locks. If we turn on close air support, 31 production cost for 18 ground attack. Quite nice. This is a theoretical CAS design. I always forget to research anti-tank. You really don't have to in single player for the most part. This thing is chonkier, but 29 ground attack. No agility. But there we go. This thing can probably blow up an entire army group if it wanted to, possibly. Also, I'm all using 1940 airframes and technologies, so things could be improved, theoretically. So, currently in France, we have, what was it again, the max defense planes up. And, your common meta fighter would probably, is between the defense and the range one. So let's just do the two planes together. Both countries are using Battlefield Support 1. So on the topic of air doctrines, this is for strategic bombers. It also provides some fighter bonuses, which is alright. It also gives you 30% or 25. 30% air superiority. In this doctrine. That will make enemy troops slower and take more damage in battles. Battlefield support, this is your CAS doctrine. No bonuses to fighters for the most part, except air superiority or ace gyration stuff. You mainly do it for this. For better CAS. Ooh, 20%. Sorry. Operational integrity is the tactical bombers and fighters. You also get the same thing as basically you got fire what is it? Agility for fighters. Pretty good, but you get 15 air superiority, air support, more ground support. So this is pretty much a pretty decent one for fighters too. So it's kind of a toss-up between strategic destruction and operational integrity for fighters. From what I heard before, operational integrity is best if you're air controller, and then the air controller, well, anyone else who is an air controller can spec into these. So, the reason I did just Battlefield Support 1 is all it did was, let me check again, just 15% fire detection. That's about it. So, pretty much these are the planes and the raw stats. All planes are currently untrained, and let's have a fight. Currently, I did not really fully understand why some things are occurring the way they are. And why aren't stats? Oh yeah. So max defense versus max defense is not having the greatest time, but it's slowly catching back up. What I have noticed is, for some reason, France starts really good initially, and then it starts to even out. Well, that kind of makes sense from two planes fighting together. Yeah, so at this point, it's pretty much 50-50, with weather conditions being weird. Alright, so let's actually do... Actually, I'll just load the save because air experience and aces might pose an issue. There we go, let's turn on air superiority. Trays feel a little bit better. So, yeah, I would say that this is also relatively fair, but we are also losing a decent amount more. But that makes sense. But if we were to attack here and actually tag France. Let's move the planes. Let's move you here, move you here. Actually, let's just move you all to here. They don't have full air, while we do as Germany. So that means... Oh, I'm in console, that's why it's not working. That makes it a lot nicer on our end. See, a lot more fires are being lost. We also do have anti-air helping, I believe. No, we do not. So this kind of does show how important range is, because now we are killing somewhat more of them than they are of us, just because they have a penalty to because they are covering the whole air zone. Wonder if it actually shows it. I swear it should say somewhere. Air power, yeah. The air power is different, probably because of the... There it is, average mission efficiency, I think. Yeah, coverage. So that's causing a whole lot of issues. That's why I would almost say drop tanks are more effective, especially as you get out of Western Europe and more towards Eastern Europe or the Pacific. Now, if we do this, they'll probably be shredded because of air experience, but they do have more range, and it's starting to turn more 50-50. All because of the range. So, personally, I would like the drop tanks planes. Yeah, they are still taking considerable losses somewhat, but... Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing, because I'm used to looking at it as Germany. Yeah, it's still being shredded a bit, but that might be due to nation stuff. And also experience. Alright, let's load this again and do our heavy attack. This one actually surprised me yesterday when I was testing it, because they really nerfed the max cannons and such. Remember, this is the heavy attack, 2 cannons and a machine gun. Or two dual cannons and a machine gun. And if we go into turn off AI, AI is off, but what's going on? Oh, I probably should turn on air superiority. 50-50. But the enemy aircraft of the max defense is getting kinda shredded. And I continued this on for 8 months, 9 months. It's pretty decent. sometimes it's 50-50, but even when I took IC costs into account, the enemy lost more. I'm kind of surprised by this, as no one uses cannons anymore. So, is it a fluke? Maybe. You can also change the design to, where's my heavy attack? This probably could even do better with drop tanks. Less defense, but more range. That will probably make it a whole lot better. Yeah, this thing shreds. Like, it's a considerably more than 100 difference in kills. Yeah, let's actually have 2 months. There we go. In the span of 1 month, we took out 200 more of their fighters, which I believe is not much of an IC cost difference. Now, if we were to fight, yeah, I can't use these airports because they're glitched in instant construction. So I'm gonna get a massive penalty if I went to northern France. So let's do a home defense. Let's switch you two around. This is our heavy attack fighters. We shall move them here, move you there. Air superiority. This is actually after initial, it's still all right for the most part. It's trading a bit half and half. I don't know if that's because we're fighting over an air zone with 2 warring countries instead of fighting over neutral. There's still... Sorry. There is still over 100 difference. Yeah, if we go for this month alone, it's still somewhat 50-50, but I believe that the IC costs benefit from the heavy attack is doing decently well. Though we are not getting air superiority. We are destroying more fighters, yes, but we're not getting air superiority, so we could be para-dropped. And I find that kind of funny. I don't know why it's like that. Anti-air frame. Why do they have more? It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Not the greatest with understanding air, but it's kind of wacky. And if I were to go into northern France, I'd be absolutely decimated because I have no coverage at all. But if I had because the range would be the same as the... Where are the defensive range? It would be the same as this. So I would probably take this design and do it with replace it with the armor plates as drop tanks, and it should be good. Now, if I don't think we need to show air doctrines, because if everyone goes to the same air doctrine, it should be similar in stats to what we have here. But I do know if Germany went battlefield support, these fighters would do poorly against operational integrity or strategic destruction player, because they will have fighter bonuses and they will shred. We've been going for a few months, and that is kind of impressive. Does draft dodging affect us? Okay, it's just recruitable population. I'm not sure if this is a meta shakeup or not, because everyone still says that the best planes are the defensive range. I would tend to lean so, but if you did heavy attack with some range, like just do this, it should be good. Oh my gosh, what is this luck? I'm glad this is not an Iron Man game, and I'm just testing, but even the IC costs I've calculated, because it's only like, how much more IC? Do 42 to 37. Yeah, it's not that much of an IC cost difference, and we're still quite shredding the enemy. I don't know if it's because of we have more aces or something. We have a decent amount of aces. Some are dead. Let's tag over to France. There we go. How are they going? Most of their aces are dead. So maybe that's the reason. Not sure. But it is still somewhat surprising how effective these are. And if you're wondering how bad heavy fighters are. Hello, Spain. We're still kind of getting shredded. Oh wait, this is... Yeah, this is the same heavy fighters. This is also heavy fighter 2s. Is it? And where are the designs on these? Alright, this is my old heavy fighter design. Don't know why I couldn't find it initially. But it had a lot more attack. It also has a lot of range, so you can actually get the air coverage. But we're getting kind of shredded by these. I could have maybe put some more armor on these guys. But the weight, no, I could not. The weight was too much. Well, I could have added a few more engines, but it just would have been expensive if we just put the others in. Well, now there's 4,000 planes on Germany's side, so we're just mauling them. But if we took this out, we're gonna be shredded. Not sure. Yeah. Either way, we're training like half and half. These are a lot more painful in IC cost production, and this is the design I did showcase. This one you could put extra armor on it to give it some more defense, but then you're negating the benefit of range that heavy fighters have. You also could just make it 4 engines, slap all the cannons and stuff you get and range, and call it a day. And past few days it's not looking the greatest, but I don't know. Air is kind of wacky. I don't know why some things work, why I'm getting results different from everyone else. But the one thing I want you to take away from the video is defense and range is good, and maybe try putting cannons on your planes again, because they might actually be effective. Wait. Actually, we're getting more air superiority from that. If we do this. Yeah, we're kind of shredding them because we have more air attack. So yeah, I have no clue anymore because I've always told that cannons don't work on planes anymore. These also would make good interceptors because they can actually punch through the armor of a strategic bomber. And also interception only works if the enemy has like casts or bombers going to you. So if I just went interception now, there would be no combat. So yeah, don't know what else to say. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. You know the video, or you know the deal. And this is Jonathan 800 signing out. And sorry for having to deal with my sickness.